The Chinese government, not all the people, but still provoked anger.
So much the better. The Chinese government making that kind of statement.
Yeah, but the LA Times said demonstrators were singing Fire Cafety, so obviously that was a centre for the row. The demonstrations weren't just in LA, throughout Europe and in Paris. The French newspaper Le Parisien details the scene in the French capital and says most of the marchers there were students, and describes quite an angry tone to the march, as people taking photographs of journalists saying they were going to keep them on record. So, quite ominous there. And not just the demonstration that's making waves in France. There's a bit of a row possibly brewing. The newspaper, the Journal du Dimanche, or JDD, as we call it here in France, has an interview with Christophe Girard, who's an aide to the mayor of Paris. He's called the Dalai Lama reactionary because of his rigid doctrines, he says. So that could be a bit inflammatory.
He seems to be taking a little bit of a different stance from the City Hall overall here in Paris.
Yeah, they recommended just a few days ago that the Dalai Lama should become an honorary citizen of Paris. So he's at odds with his boss there, Girard.
Indeed. Also the JDD, sorry.
Yes, sorry, I was just going to say, also in the same paper, there's an article on the funeral preparations in Martinique for the funeral of Aimé Césaire, the very influential poet and intellectual. They describe the atmosphere there and detail the order of the events as they're expected to unfurl on Sunday.
Of course, in Martinique, his home island, as you say.
Absolutely, a huge event that's going to be.
Next, we're going to move on to the New York Times.
Yeah, it's the last day of Pope Benedict XVI's visit to New York, and there's a very interesting article, editorial in the New York Times, talking about the Pope and his stance on immigration, his possible stance on immigration. They say that he's focused on immigration issues several times, saying that we need to protect immigrant children. And a Republican congressman in the States has accused Pope Benedict of faith-based marketing, trying to drum up support